Before I narrate this story, I offer my pranam to my Guru and to Amma, Mata Amritanandamayi Ma, and to my deity Sri Sri Radhika Mohan. The story I'm about to share has stayed with me for over a decade. It was first narrated to me by my dear friend Sonali, who lives in Melbourne, Australia. Recently, I asked her if we could share her story with a wider audience, hoping it might strengthen their faith and ignite a spark of hope in their hearts. Sonali joyfully agreed, and I'm grateful to her. She's truly a gifted soul, and there are many more blessings she has experienced. God willing, we will share more stories about her with you in the future. Now let's dive into this beautiful story. Keep your ears and hearts open, dear listeners. Sonali's spiritual connection with Amma began long before this particular incident took place. She once confided in me cautiously, so as not to sound egotistical, that when she first met Amma, she saw herself in Amma. She admitted that she struggled to express this experience in words, and when I encouraged her to elaborate, she remained silent. Sometimes words act as much a barrier as they do a bridge between two minds. And we have our own way of interpreting things according to our own spiritual evolution and exposure. Anyway, let's get back to the story. So this miraculous experience happened when Sonali attended Amma's retreat in Melbourne. The first day's program extended way past midnight, and she returned home late. Sonali was quite exhausted, so went straight to sleep. That night, Amma appeared in her dream. Sonali described it as a vivid dream where the setting, the people, and the atmosphere were identical to the retreat she had attended earlier that day. Exactly the same. Amma was on the stage just as she had been during the day, and Sonali was in the queue to receive Amma's famous hug. However, in the dream, a volunteer stopped her, explaining that since she had already received a hug earlier, she could not queue up for another. From the stage, Amma heard this and told the volunteer to let Sonali come forward. As Sonali approached Amma, something unexpected happened. Amma did not give her a hug. Instead, she gently placed both hands on Sonali's stomach and held them there. Sonali woke up the next morning just as Amma removed her hands in the dream. She felt as though the experience had lasted the whole night. She was confused but also deeply moved as she prepared for the second day of the retreat. She relived the vivid dream in her mind. She could not help but feel it was more than just a dream. Well, if you ask me my impression, well, I think it was a spiritual encounter on the astral plane, not just an ordinary dream. On the second day of the retreat, Sonali was assigned seva in the kitchen. She confided in a senior devotee there, narrating her dream and asking for guidance on its meaning. The devotee assured her, "Sonali, you are truly blessed to have Amma's presence and blessings for the whole night in a dream." But Sonali could not stop wondering why Amma had not hugged her and instead placed her hands on her stomach. The devotee smiled and said, "Sonali, it's your dream. It's between you and Amma." However, later that day, the devotee told Sonali it could mean one of the two things. Amma may have been healing a physical ailment in your stomach, Sonali, or she may have been blessing you with a child. Sonali carried these words in her heart. The rest of the retreat unfolded as planned, but she remained in constant prayer, asking Amma to reveal the meaning of the dream. A few weeks later, Sonali discovered she was pregnant. In that moment, she felt a profound certainty this child was Amma's blessing. To this day, Sonali believes her children are divine gifts sent to her through Amma's grace, not just her first child, but her second one as well. When I asked if she had been considering having a child at that time, Sonali admitted she felt anxious about the idea. She and her husband were still struggling to make a decision. Sonali said, "Amma decided for us." How beautiful. Today, Sonali says both her daughters are Amma's gifts. Her connection with Amma is not dependent on rituals or outer activities. She feels she can connect with Amma at any time. Reflecting on her vivid dream, she told me, "Well, this is how I meet Amma whenever I feel called to her." What a beautiful bond between a spiritual mother and daughter. I hope this story touched your heart as deeply as it touched mine. Please share your thoughts and feelings in the comment section below. Thank you, and God willing, I'll see you soon with another story from Sonali. Or perhaps one from you. If you have a story of blessings and grace that you would like to share, please write to me at wiredforstories@gmail.com. You will also find the email address in the description box below. Jai Ho.